What's up, guys? So I'm sorry for being a little bit red. It is very humid here in Texas. I just moved and I have some really good news for videos on bikes that are coming. I might have bought 2 bikes and I haven't even got my other project bikes that I'm working on. And so I do want to show you guys what I got. And I'm trying a new mic setup too, so I'll get better at this, trust. And so yeah, let me show you what bikes we're gonna be working on and fixing, and we got a steal on them. And so I'll probably make separate videos for them, just because they're different in their own ways. But yeah, let me turn around the camera real quick. And yeah, this is the second bike that we got, not in that order. I got this one first and then that one. So this is a 2003 R6, and it is very, very clapped out. Extremely clapped out. It looks alright from far away, but it is very clapped out. It has Woodcraft starter and engine covers. It's missing a few things right here. As you can see, this is literally the coolant overflow reservoir is just overflowing, or not overflowing, sorry. It's literally just dangling. And it has mismatched levers for some reason. It has yellow and it has red. I bought some black ones for it. But the chain seems to be in alright condition. Seems to be almost brand new. There's a little bit of rust on it for some reason, but it's in good condition. I bought all that stuff, the coolant reservoir, like bracket. I bought some other stuff. The guy that I bought the motorcycle off said that he ordered a seat, and he said he's gonna give it to me. So hopefully he's not lying about that. And so as you can see, this is very clapped out. Like, it has a lot of imperfections. But the cool thing about this bike is that it only has 25,000 miles on the dash. And I got it for $2,300. And so 25 miles on the dash, 25K miles on the dash. It also, the RP, wait, where'd my dog go? Anya, oh, she's right there. She's looking outside. Yeah, sorry for the cars. But yeah, the RPM gauge is actually like very wonky. It like it goes up and down, and it's not showing you accurate readings. It also doesn't read the neutral light, and so I believe the gauge just doesn't work properly. It just malfunctioned or something. I really don't want to dig into there, so I just ordered a new gauge, not a new gauge, a used gauge that's in good condition. That should have the RPM needle fixed. The throttle is extremely sticky on this bike. Oops, I just lost audio. Yeah, I just decided to get a new replacement gauge. I got one with 27,000 miles on it, so it's very similar. I'll let the person know that when I sell it, it actually has 25,000 miles on it, not 27, and I have proof of it with the gauge. And so, yeah, hopefully that fixes the RPM issue, and the neutral safety switch or safety light does not turn on. And yeah, there's another thing that I noticed is that the fans are not turning on. It's also low on coolant, so I gotta figure out why. So we gotta figure out why it's not turning on the fans, because it was overheating. I turned it off before it started overheating, but the light would turn on. But yeah, it has a Yoshimura exhaust, and it sounds really good, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna actually put a battery on this bike and try to see if we can get this thing to turn on. So I'll be back. What is up, guys? So I have good news, and I just got delivery of all of my bikes. The Agusta 2012 Agusta 1090R, the 2013 Ninja 650, 2011 Ninja 650, no wait, so 2009 Ninja 650, and then the 2 bikes that we have right here that we're currently working on as well, which is a 2009 Ninja 650 and a 2003 R6. As you can see, I set it up this way because I plan on working on the R6 first, just because I think it's the one that I have the most parts for right now, and then I'll work on those 2. These 2 bikes are good, these are mine. Working on this, I do have the new throttle cables. I have a new air filter. This is the sticker I was talking about for the triple tree. Well, I don't know if I talked about it, but I'm gonna try to remove this triple tree clamp so I can paint down a little bit just to make it look nicer. This little part right here is going to annoy me because the sticker doesn't cover that up. So I'm gonna paint that. And I got brake pads for it. I have spark plugs, and I'm waiting for this a adapter to put onto that Ninja 650 because it didn't fit, so I had to get a little adapter for it. And then we also have an oil filter for this. This will be getting an oil change. So yeah, all right, I'll catch you guys. So I actually just set up a little shop light. It's perfect because I was gonna hang it on the garage door itself, garage like railing, but there was like a piece of wood that was sticking out right there. And it just like perfectly fit that. So look, we got better lighting in here. But yeah, this R6 is extremely clapped out. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but the fans are not turning on. I don't know why it could be. I'm thinking it could be a bad temp sensor. I don't know. I think it's reading temps a little bit wrong, because by the time it gets to like 250 degrees, I'm touching the exhaust, I'm touching the headers, and they don't burn my hands like horribly. Like they're hot, but they're not 250 degrees hot. And so I'm thinking it's probably that, which is also very weird. I think it might just be low on coolant, because this bike, I don't know, I mean, they're very different bikes, but this bike, I can ride it for 15 minutes and the fans will never turn on. Or 10 minutes and then the fans will turn on. I ride this bike for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, it's already like really hot and it just doesn't turn on the fans. So we need to actually flush this coolant out, because the previous person put red coolant in here, and the cool dye, it doesn't matter. The coolant dye doesn't matter, but I'm just more comfortable using the green one. Like, just stick to how it's supposed to be. Hey, and what do you want? You want to get on the camera? Oh, she just licked the camera. Okay, fine. But yeah, I'm gonna change this coolant out to green, to some green Xerox. And then yeah, I also ordered a new coolant, so I'm just gonna take this off. The coolant inside, I'm gonna just flush it, drop everything. While I'm here, I'm also gonna just take off the left side, the right side as well. Trying to see what else. I'll probably get out the chain a little bit, clean it up, make it look nice. But yeah, there's a part of me that really wants to paint this bike. There's a part of me, because this brown, like burnt orange, if anybody plays Rocket League, like burnt sienna, like I kind of like it, but at the same time I don't. And I don't know if I'm gonna end up keeping this bike, because it's a R6, but I want more like a 2007 R6. I think those are so much nicer. But I really want to do the bike right. That's how I do all of my bikes. So I don't know, because as you can see, the fairings are a little bit like scuffed up, just minor imperfections. Let me pick this one up. This one fell. Oh, that was bad. Okay, so as you can see, it has like minor imperfections, and there's a part of me that wants to paint it. So I don't know, but we'll see. Oh, I'm getting a call. All right, so I just took off the triple tree clamp, or this part of the clamp, whatever you want to call it. And so as you can see, it is very like not well like even colored. And so we're gonna paint this whole thing black, and then we're gonna put the sticker or the little like fake carbon fiber that goes over it, and it's gonna look so much better once it's in place. I had to do some weird stuff just to get this out. I had to use one of these tie rod clamps, just because I couldn't pull it out by hand. So yeah, I'm gonna get this painted and then we'll get it installed. And thankfully these forks are not leaking, but they could use some new seals. I'm not gonna lie to you. It should be all right though. All right. So I just found something out really bad about the bike. So the reason that's overheating could still be the temp sensor, but I didn't check the coolant. I took off the hose. I tried to see if there was anything on. Nothing fell out. There was no coolant in there. And as you can see, look inside there. This whole thing is rusted out. I have no idea how this happened, but they probably ran it without coolant or something. But this is completely like rusted and oxidized. This is, wow, look at that. That's disgusting. But what I'm hoping is that the engine isn't completely toast, because it went through plenty of overheatings or something. The engine, the weird thing about it is that it runs completely fine. I ran it for 3 minutes, 4 minutes at a time before you even need to like
turn it on because I didn't know that it didn't have coolant. I assumed it didn't have coolant because the coolant reservoir has coolant in it. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm still going to fix this. I just ordered a new water pump that should be getting in a few days. I ordered some spray paint just so I can paint the engine black and make everything look nice. But yeah, this was kind of crazy to find out. And so, yeah, water pump. I can't put any of the coolant in. I just painted the triple tree clamp. Let me see if I can get you a picture. I don't even know if this is the right paint, but this is the only one that I had at the moment. As you can see, I probably should have sanded it down, but it looks so much better than what it was before. The main part right here is going to be covered up with a sticker, so I'm not bothered by that. So it already looks so much better. It doesn't look that good on camera, but I guarantee you it'll look better once on the bike. Alright, so I just finished cleaning the sprocket. The sprocket. I'm going to clean the chain afterwards, and so I'm also going to change these brake pads. Still very simple stuff that I can do while I wait for the parts. But as you can see, it already looks a lot better. I wasn't able to perfectly clean it just because that is just like regular stainless steel like stains from use and wear. And so I try my best, but that's the best it's gonna get. And so yeah, let's put this back on. Okay, so don't pay any mind to my face because it's pretty dirty. I've been working. I put the brake pads on the R6 and I tried to change the throttle cables because I did receive them. But if I could find them, what do you want? Well, you got your ball. So yeah, they were not compatible. I don't know where I put them. I think I put them in their own bag. But the set the pair that I ordered, it had a different push cable, and so it wasn't compatible with it. And so I took them off. I'm gonna return them. I ordered some new ones, and hopefully those will be compatible. And then we'll get this R6 running. As you can tell, I finally got a tripod, so this is a lot better and gives you guys better angles. And you can see my dog. You can see Anya. Say hi. Hi, you want your ball? What? Sorry, she thinks she's a little bit of a mechanic. What are you inspecting the R6? Oh, the R6. But yeah, so we're waiting on new throttle cables, and hopefully I should get that issue fixed. I've been thinking. I think I'm gonna look for a better gas tank. This one isn't in too bad of a condition, but I think I'm gonna get a new one. And we're gonna look for. I'm either gonna paint these fairings or I'm gonna get something else. Oh, she's all up on the mic. Hi. And so, yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. So I'll keep you guys updated. So you can barely see me. I actually have to put the camera a little bit more. Oh. So the R6, right? The previous owner said that. I mean, it wasn't even previous owner. I don't think he even put it in his name. I'm pretty sure he didn't. The title is under the other guy's name. So the previous guy that had the bike, he said that coil pack something was like acting weird when it was on cold starts. So I have the 4 coil packs. We're gonna take his word for it on that. I need to get those switched out. The good thing about the R6 compared to other bikes that I've worked on is that the gas tank is very easy to maneuver and keep out of the way. So all you do is you just take off these 4 screws right here in the front, and you can just literally lift it up. That's it. And then I'm just gonna put like a little pole to hold it up. I don't know where, but we're gonna find somewhere. Okay, this works. Oh, okay. You know what? Whatever. We'll try to do the work without putting something here to like support the gas tank. So just get this open. All right, so I finally took the air box off, and as you can see, it is very black. Yeah, I don't think this air filter hasn't been changed in a while. So I get a good look on that. It looks more red on camera, but I guarantee you it is very black. And so this is the old one. Let me actually go get the new one really quick. Okay, so if we make a quick comparison, just look at this one. Oh yeah. That's so much better. I'm looking around. Oh, I assume that's how you do it. You just pull it off. Now there's a little hose right here. Pops off. I feel another hose on the other side. No, it's a plug. I'm assuming this is like a temperature sensor, an IAT, which is a in-air temperature sensor, or something like that. Idle air temp. Okay. I pulled out a hose, which it came from the back. I have no idea where that one goes. Oh, I think it's right here. Okay, cool. So we're getting really close to the coils now. There's so many wires here. There's a relay. There's so many wires here. What is going on? Oh no. What the hell? Okay, whatever, man. Yeah, whoever was doing work to this bike did not take care of the bike. That is for certain. Okay, at least it's very easy to take these coils off. Okay, this is one. Okay, two. Oh yeah, this one is for sure messed up. Yeah, I could tell. This is a good one. This looks somewhat alright if it could focus. And this is the bad one. You could already tell as well on the camera. Look at that. It's like already cracked. It's like, yeah. I mean, it still should. That's why it's making just false contact. It's working good. It's working all right sometimes. But yeah, just look at that one. If you could focus. Okay, you get the point. Oh wait, I forgot. I actually bought new spark plugs for this as well. I'm not just gonna change these out just cause. So I just finished taking off one of the spark plugs. I have no idea what kind of brand this is. This says Autolite on it. And I'm putting on NGKs. So yeah, they're pretty, I mean, they're just regular use. Nothing too bad. Seems well. So that was for cylinder number 2. So I'm gonna put it back in there. So then I got it hand tight. I'm gonna just use the ratchet as shortest length and just try to tighten it as much as I can. Oops, I'm loosening it. Nothing too tight because there's a lot of leverage here. That's why I'm using my hand as close as I can to here. Okay, I'm happy with it right there. So now we can put the coil back in here. They did say that these coils were a little bit shorter than the other ones. So we just have to make sure that you press them down right. Okay, that seems good to me. So I'll come back once I'm done with all of them. All right, so I just got the air filter installed and I also got the spark plugs installed. So spark plugs, ignition coils, air filter are all good now. I turned the bike on just for like a quick second just to see if it turned on. It did turn on, it sounded all right. Now I just need to wait for the water pump to fix that. And that should be coming in a couple days, but it's getting all like put together for now. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned it, but I did order a new gauge just because that one does not read the neutral safety switch, or the neutral switch, and also it does not read RPMs right. So that's next on the list. So I just got the new water pump, and I do want to make a quick comparison of the old one versus the new one. So this could just focus real quick. Just look at that one. That one is straight up disgusting. This is the new one. I'm not even gonna bother opening it up, but you can already imagine. Just look, yeah, that's gonna be so much better. So I'm gonna get that installed. I'm gonna fill this up with coolant, and we're gonna see if this runs a little bit better. I also have the new throttle body cables, so I'm gonna install those as well. So yeah, let me get to that. Okay, I forget that I have a mic on me now. All right, damn, this looks kind of sick. Okay, my fault. So it has been a couple more days. Unfortunately, we have not been successful at all, but we made some progress, somewhat. So from what I remember, from what I did, is I changed out the thermostat. I don't recall if I recorded it, but I changed out the thermostat. I also changed out what else did I change out? I changed out the temperature sensor, so that's all good. I also put in a new relay for the fan because the fans are indeed not kicking in. This relay does work. The 2003 R6 and I'm pretty sure other years have a diagnostics mode, which you turn on by having the key off, and then you press and hold the reset and select switch, and then you just turn on the key and it should go into diagnostic mode. Then you can test the relay like that. Sorry, she just closed the door. And then we got my dog here. What you want? What you want? Hi. Okay. So, getting back to what I was saying. Thermostat sensor, thermostat and temp sensor are both changed, but the fans are still not turning on. I think that the issue is that the ECU, something happens to the ECU and it's not sending the voltage or whatever the case is, sending the signal to tell the R6 to, hey, we're overheating, we're heating up, turn on the fans. That little part of the ECU is cooked. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna actually manually wire up a fan on switch, just a manual toggle switch, just so that the fan can turn on and it can work whenever we need it to work. If the temperature, it usually turns on at around 210 for regular R6s where the fans do work, but we can even get the fan to turn on at like 190, 200 if necessary, if it's like a pretty hot day, and the bike will run cooler, which is a pretty good thing. But we're currently waiting on the toggle switch. But yeah, we have a new relay, it does work. There was a few coolant leaks that I was addressing. One of them was right here. Let me adjust the camera right there. One of them was in here. There's a coolant hose that goes into the engine right here. Hi. And this was leaking. I moved it up a little bit, and it's not leaking anymore. But the housing itself, I don't know what it is. That one was leaking a little bit, but we'll address that later. I tightened on the bolts a little bit, and it wasn't leaking anymore. So I gotta put more coolant and just run the bike again once I get the manual toggle switch. And yeah, okay, now I'm gonna cut the clip. I gotta record something else. Okay, also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we have a lot more room in the garage now. I moved all of the bikes from the garage somewhere else, and luckily I have actually something that I need to record for the other bike that we were doing, the white 2009. That one, we did something with that bike, which I'll record, which is probably gonna be for another video. Depends on what the order comes out. But yeah, something happened to that bike, and yeah. All right, so on the R6, I took out the fuel pump because it was leaking gas when you would run it. And so the O-ring was pretty worn out. And also, as you can see, there was like a lot of rust and gunk in the fuel pump itself. And look at that fuel filter, it is very dirty. We can just turn the light on real quick. It is very dirty. So I'm gonna get a new fuel filter, and I'm gonna clean out this housing, and also most likely clean out the gas tank, just because we don't want anything else that's in there to dirty the new fuel filter and mess up the new O-ring. So yeah, I'm gonna order that and get to it. I looked around and tried to find out what the issue was, and the issue is most likely that the ECU part that tells the rest of the bike to say hey, the bike is overheating, the bike is hot, turn the fans on, does not work. That part of the ECU does not work, and it does not send the signal. So what I did to counteract this, instead of buying a whole brand new ECU to test this and to make it work hopefully, is I just wired a manual toggle fan switch. So this was the first time I ever did this, but I learned a lot. So as you can see, just to do a quick explanation, is I found where the fan connects to. Let me actually turn the light on. So if we check right here, let me actually move the mic somewhere else. We'll put it right there. Okay, so this is the connector that I assume, not assume, but this connector goes to the fans, because it is a dual fan setup. And then there's another connector that I'm assuming goes to the thermal switch, the temp sensor. And so what I did is, since the thermal sensor doesn't work and the temperature does read properly, it is just not sending the signal, as I said before. So what I did is I just rerouted it in here, and I connected it to the prongs, and we ran it to the toggle switch right here. Okay. The red wire goes, connects, and then it connects to the positive. The ground wire connects directly to the connector itself. So as you can see, this wire is a little bit thicker. It connected directly to the negative terminal. The small black wire connects to the switch, and the red wire goes into a fuse, a 20 amp fuse, and then it goes and then it connects to the positive wire. So if you guys want to see this in action, so you literally just turn the switch on, fans work. They're a little bit loud just because they are dual fan setups, but at least they work. And now there should be no worrying about the motorcycle overheating or having any problems with it. And you could even turn on the switch at an earlier temperature compared to what the computer would turn it on. I believe the R6 it turns on the fans at about 215 with the ECU. You can turn these on at 190, 195 just to have the bike be running cooler, which is great. So yeah, and also as I said, is that the fuel filter is currently on its way. I'm gonna be putting back the air filter, everything else, and the bike should be done. Engine wise, mechanically wise. Now I just gotta put back the fairings, make sure all the wiring for this is correct because this was cut off, and then we will be done. So it's pretty exciting. So I'll get to that. I'm gonna put everything back on here. All right. So it's been a couple days, and the R6 is coming along. So to do a quick recap, I think it's been like 4 or 5 days. Don't look at my toes. So in like the 4 or 5 days, I was waiting for the fuel filter for the gas tank, and while I was putting the fuel filter and messing with it, trying to take it off, I accidentally messed up the fuel pump. Probably like the wiring for something, I messed it up, and I turned it on, and it didn't want to work properly. It was like there was an extreme loss of power, and it just wasn't good. So I was like, I looked at the wiring. I had seen it before, and I was like, it should be good. It was not good. But yeah, so I assumed it was a fuel pump. I got a new fuel pump, and it wasn't a 2003 fuel pump. It was 2007 and up fuel pump. And so I looked at the connectors. They all look the same, and I don't remember where I saw it, but you could still use it, except that there was just one issue. Let me explain. Okay, I'm back. So the issue was that the original fuel pump has, as you can see, it has this little like nipple or whatever you want to call it right here. This is the gas, just regular to the injectors. This is a fuel return line. The fuel pump that I got doesn't have one. And so I was trying to take off this, but then I realized that the aftermarket fuel pump doesn't have like anything for it. And so I was like, I could have like drilled a hole or something. But then I like looked on forums, they were like, oh, the 2007 one won't work. Nah. It works. I just had to do something very ratchet, very bad. And let me show you. All right, so I lifted it up a little bit just so you guys can get an idea. This right here is the line that goes back into the fuel pump, and it connects to the fuel pressure regulator. So since the 2007 fuel pump already has like the whole like fuel return built in, it doesn't need this part. And somebody was like, bro, it's already built in. You could just block it off and you're good. So this is what we did. I put a really big screw in here with some zip ties around it, and I've driven it around, and it works just fine. It is actually insane. And so, yes, that works. I'm kind of already like, I don't even know if you guys have seen it in the condition right now, but it is really getting there. I've made a lot of progress on it. I've done some wiring for the headlights. I made it look nice because previously it looked horrible. So this was a lot worse before, because the directionals work everywhere. So if we were to do left, blinker left, this one left.
So the right one doesn't work yet. And so I need to wire that whole thing up. I just don't know how to do it. The gauge, another thing I'm pretty sure I mentioned, this gauge, the RPMs do not work. And so it'll stay stuck at 18 when it's not actually doing 18. So there you go. And so I have a new gauge for it. I think it's in this box right here. But yes. Also, we had this order that came in with some other parts. Let me see. I think it's on this side. We finally have this right here. We have a overflow, coolant reservoir overflow, goes in there, and it's just missing a cap. I don't know if I said this before, but we have a sprocket gear cap as well. I didn't have that on the bike before. I'm trying to think. Here's what I showed you guys before. This turns on the fan. I don't know if you could hear that, but yeah, it turns on the fan. And I just realized I've been riding it around for like not even that much, maybe like a mile. I'm missing these screws right here. I did not even realize that. I'm gonna put that, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna try to finish putting the new gauge on, see if it works, and try to see what else. Also, I have intake ducts for the ram air intake. These didn't have it on the bike either, so I'm gonna put those on. And I don't know if you guys saw in the background, but that's a sneak peek of what the next bike is. I don't know if I'm gonna make a video of that though, just because it didn't seem like a really difficult fix, but it's getting there. So yeah, I'm gonna put back this gas tank, and let's try to mess with taking off the front windscreen. So I'm doing something a little bit risky. So what I realized was that I'm really close to the camera. I'm not able to change the other dash to miles per hour or even put it in Celsius, which I know is going to be a problem when I try to sell it. So I'm doing something very risky, and I took off the little motor right here that spins the RPM gauge, and I'm going to take it off the other one, the good one, and put it onto this one. It's just a simple soldering job, I hope, and theoretically, if all goes right, we should have a functioning RPM gauge, because this motor is broken. It just spins around and it does not work properly. So if we are able to do this, this is actually going to be crazy. Let's try to do this. I just realized that I didn't have the mic on me, so I don't know if that picked up, but it's on there just as a test fit. So let's see if this works. Okay, we don't know if this is gonna work with the actual revs though, so let's turn this on. Let me close my door first. It's at 2,000. It works, guys. It worked. It actually works. I think I might be the best. All right, it is like 10:30. I gotta go to sleep. I did it. That's all that matters. All right, talk to you guys later. All right, am I in the frame? I have no idea if my face is clean, but who cares? The R6, you guys. I don't recall what I stopped making the video on, but it is about like 95% there. I'm just waiting on for some 20 gauge wire, just because I need to finish the turn signals. They were a little bit too short, so I need to put more wire on them to make them work. And everything on this bike is good now. There's one more thing that I need to do besides the wires. I need to change the front brakes. The rear ones are done. I already did that. And then I need to clean the chain, lube the chain, and that's it. So wires, front brakes, clean, lube the chain, adjust the chain, that's it. The chain, I'm pretty sure the slack was pretty good. It's the last time I tried it. So that's not something I'm not too worried about. But let's get these front brakes changed, because I want to take this bike out for a little test ride. So let's get that done real quick.
Too fast. has no flaws, like a 7-1. Call me sir, I'm the boss, I'm the one that get it done. I've only just begun, so I already won. If words had mass, then they would really weigh a ton. Cause I'm standing at the top, while on my tiptoes, going on stages to get in plenty hoes. It's always money over hoes, cause a bitch be turning hot when I just want my neck froze. Ayy, she be talking with no clothes on. Ayy, who am I to be opposing on? Ayy, silence PPK like James Bond. Ayy, rhymes like fire, I'm getting too close to the sun.
Alright guys, so R6 brake pads are done. I had a little bit of trouble with them, but it's because I didn't know how to do them. And there was like 2 security pins that are on there, but we're good. Bike is done to the most part. I have it listed on Facebook now. It does not have something happened while I was getting this bike over here outside. I broke off one of the mirrors just because, long story short, I had them wired up already, but they were very tense because the wires were very short. So for some reason, when I put this bike on the stand to clean and lube and adjust the chain, it just popped out. It broke off. It completely broke off. So it just has one mirror. It annoyed me, as you could probably tell or expect. But yeah, no right mirror. The seat still doesn't lock into place because it's missing the whole mechanism. And I think that's it. I found the plastic. I forgot I had ordered this plastic, but I put that on there. Cable's right here for the fan. And yeah, everything else is good. I have it posted on Facebook, as I said, and I have some people interested. Hopefully, we can get it sold by the end of the week. But I'll keep you guys in touch. I'm trying to think of anything else. I guess next clip you see of me will probably be when the bike is done. You guys haven't even heard of the bike. Let me turn it on. Is it still running? Okay, it's still running. So, as I was saying, turn it on. Everything works. Then we can go ahead and turn this on. I don't even know if this is capturing it, but yeah, it's pretty loud. It's a very loud bike. It also shoots flames. Very loud. It sounds good. I like it. But yeah, everything on this bike is mainly done and ready to go, minus the small things that I said. The mirror, the seat, the fairings not being in the greatest condition. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated, and yeah, later. Alright, so as I was saying in the last clip, it's actually been like a while, probably like a couple weeks since I sold the bike, and I'm just barely getting around to editing the video. But yeah, we sold the bike. The bike itself was $2,300. I put about $900 to $1,000 into it, and we sold it for $46.50, which is about a $1,500 profit, which is really good. And yeah, I know the video took a while to edit. I currently have like 5 other bikes that I need to work on. And please leave a like, and specifically leave a comment if you learned something new, if you didn't know something before that I did, because I was learning as I went along with the bike, you know. I really appreciate when you guys leave a comment. If you want to say something, I'll go ahead and answer you guys, or just give it a like. But yeah, the video is done, or I mean the bike is done, and it's been sold, thankfully. And as I said, I have like 5 other bikes that I'm working on. And if you guys want to see more videos consistently being made, as in like just working on them and not doing like how much like a bike per video, please let me know. If we get enough people that want that, then I could probably start doing that. Well, you know, my following isn't too big right now, it's fine. So yeah, well, let's see, where's Anya? There she is. She's on the floor. She said it's hot. Yeah, it's very hot over here. But thank you if you watched the entire video. That means so much to me. And you have a great day. Bye-bye.